The Boston Celtics
Nuggets,
versus the
Celtics,
Denver
Nuggets,
Nuggets.
Celtics.
Boston
Jokic
versus
Tatum in the
Denver.
finals for sure.
This isn't LeBron versus Curry, ladies and gentlemen. There seems to be a consensus around the league that the NBA Finals matchup is all said and done. But with the Dallas Mavericks rolling coming into the playoffs, I think I have to stand up and say this might be the time for them to go on a serious championship run. With Luka, Doncic, and Kyrie Irving averaging a combined 59.2 points a game this season, we're looking at a scoring punch we haven't seen in years. And with two guys who have shown they can get it done in a playoff atmosphere, Suns and Warriors, I think we have a duo on our hands that has finally figured it out. And I will lay out my case as to why the 2024 Dallas Mavericks have the potential to give the Nuggets a run for their money to come out on top of the Western Conference. Starting off with a common trend that's necessary for a contender, having a top 5 player in the league on your squad. And let's just say I think they might have a guy in that echelon. And when I say might, I mean abso-fucking-lutely top 5. There's an argument he's top 3. And I've also been hearing people go as far to call Luka Dončić the best player in the entire world. And honestly, I can't be super mad at it. I mean, men lie, women lie, children lie, but numbers don't lie. And the numbers look bananas for Luka Dončić, averaging 34 points, 9.8 assists, 9.2 rebounds while shooting a 57 effective field goal percentage. I mean, guys, a 31, 9, and 8 game would be well below his average. Just think about that. But looking at it over the course of the 23-24 NBA season, Luka doesn't just strictly have the statistics to back it up, but the moments as well. To start off the season, the Magician had hit just a stupid, silly, goofy circus shot against the Brooklyn Nets, where he put on his Kareem Abdul-Jabbar impersonation and hit a jump hook from behind the three-point line to put the Mavs up 3 with 24 seconds left to go in the game to pull out the W. The Slovenian Wizard had also made history by having the most points in an NBA game since Kobe Bryant with his 73 points against the Atlanta Hawks. And my God, this was such a dominant performance. The man had the NBA media questioning what rules needed to be implemented to help the defense have a better chance at slowing him down. I mean, the hell? I know the man's making a case this year to come and take that MVP award from Jokic. And a big reason why he's able to do that is because his running mate has figured out how to perfectly mesh with him. That is Kyrie Irving. Now, it's looking like this will be the first time in 5 years that Kyrie Irving will play at least 61 games. And boy, it's been a journey. And a lot of people were wondering if we'd ever get the old version of Kyrie that we saw earlier in his career, which was having consistent dominance. While he had a few bumps and bruises that had kept him out of the lineup for a chunk of games this year, we saw the man go absolutely ballistic this season, getting his shots off at will, even while playing with the highest usage rate player in the league, averaging over 25.5 points a game, 5 assists, 5 rebounds on almost 50, 40, 90 shooting splits. God damn. If it weren't for the game's play limit, these stats alone could make the argument that Kyrie is a second or third team All-NBA level talent. When I was talking about the moments with Luka, I think Kyrie has the moment of the regular season this year when he had hit a running left-handed hook shot to beat the favorites to win the championship, the Denver Nuggets. And my God, this is stupid. Have you ever tried to do this just alone in a gym? This is a ridiculous shot to try and get off even in that environment. Now imagine trying to do that over a stretched out 7-footer with the game on the line. I went to the gym to try and do this and airballed the first 4. If Luka is a magician, then Kyrie is a wizard. And it's not like this is something new. We've seen Kyrie hit big shot after big shot before, and potentially one of the biggest shots of all time at just 23 years old when he cooked Steph in the finals. And when we look at finals teams throughout history, it's been a part of the formula to have a top 5 guy in the league and a guy who can play at an all-NBA second or third team level. The Nuggets, the Warriors, the Bucks, the Lakers, and the Raptors all exhibited this. But they also exhibited a top 10 offensive and defensive rating as a team. And you know who fits this? The Dallas Mavericks. Having the 6th best offensive and defensive rating in the league at the moment has been propelled by the surrounding pieces that the Mavericks organization added during the year. Attaining the rights through a midseason trade of Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington has been phenomenal for the squad, as these guys are perfect role players to feed off of Luka's dimes. Luka was spoon-feeding Gafford to the point where he almost broke a Wilt Chamberlain record for most consecutive field goals made in a row, finishing just short with 33. And I haven't even talked about what's looking to be one of the smartest and riskiest moves we've ever seen by an organization, and it paid off, and that was their willingness to miss the playoffs and sacrifice a Luka and Kyrie postseason run to get a high draft pick last year, which was used to get the guy from Duke, Dereck Lively. Now, if you remember, the people were not happy about the Mavericks halfway giving up towards the end of the year, sitting Luka and Kyrie during a game that decided if they would make it in the play-in tournament or not. And the Dallas organization came to terms that even if they were to win the play-in tournament, still wasn't going to be enough to do serious damage. So they decided to draft a 7'1" freak athlete to be a 2.0 version of Clint Capella, a young guy who can blow someone up with the screen, then roll hard to catch one of Luka's perfect lob passes and dunk on your favorite center. Now, no disrespect to Dwight Powell, but 19-year-old Lively is already leagues better to play with Luka than Powell, as he's more athletic, has a higher motor, more agile, a better defender, doesn't get hit in the face every single goddamn game. It's a match made in heaven. And with the contracts of Luka and Kyrie, I think it's very necessary to have a vital piece that's on that rookie deal to be flexible enough to win championships. And this is all without mentioning the spacing provided by some of the role players. With Josh Green potentially coming back from injury soon to bring his 40% three-point shooting, the revitalized Dante Exum going from out of the league to being a winning piece, shooting 48.5% from behind the arc, and although Tim Hardaway Jr. is only shooting around 35% from the field, I'm still waking up from nightmares, cold sweats from the 7 threes that he knocked down in the playoffs against my team. So a top 5 talent in the league, an all NBA level second option, talented role players who are comfortable with their part on the squad, shooters to allow for spacing, a top 10 defense, and a team that's made it to the Western Conference Finals before, it looked like they hit the marks. And when we look to see who their competition is heading into the playoffs, it looks like we're getting part 3 of the Los Angeles Clippers versus the Dallas Mavericks, and Luka might be here for revenge, considering he's currently 0-2 against the Clippers core in his career. But you gotta remember, at 21 years old, he pushed this squad to a 7-game series with absurd play and has had a game winner or two while doing it. Ooh, I think I would take this Mavericks team against this super up and down Clippers squad, personally. I also would take Dallas against either OKC or the Timberwolves, strictly for the reason that this Dallas squad has more playoff experience and that the top 2 for Dallas is leaps and bounds better than either of those squads' top 2 at this very moment. But the real kicker is going to be the matchup versus the Denver Nuggets, a team who is looking to have the first repeat since the 2017-2018 Warriors. And while the Nuggets are 2-1 against them this year, one of those games was without Kyrie, guy who had closed them out on the ridiculous shot the last time they played. Yeah, so things might be different in a 7-game series with him out there. We've seen through the year that the only way to beat this Nuggets team is through out-shooting them. And if anyone can do that, it'd be Luka Dončić and Kyrie Irving. But I'll be honest, I probably would still have my money on Denver in that series, but don't be surprised if Dallas can get 4 games on the defending champs this upcoming postseason. And lastly, if the Mavericks are hot enough to beat Denver in a series, I think the inevitable matchup of Dallas versus Boston would be a perfect storyline. The young American superstar in Jason Tatum versus the young European sensation that is Luka Dončić. The battle for who will hold the torch as the best player on the best team in the league. The 2 most toxic fan bases talking shit back and forth for weeks. It would just be poetry in motion, and to me, that game would be a toss-up at that point. And I think I speak for all of us when I say we will be there for something like that. Well, what do you think, Dash and Hoopers? Does this Dallas Mavericks team hold any serious weight in your playoff prediction bracket? Is Kyrie Irving going to be able to lock in and play basketball for the rest of the playoffs? Do you think the Mavericks stand any chance against Denver or Boston? Remember to hit that like and subscribe button for more NBA content like this. And if you didn't see it, go check out this recent video I did where I interviewed Boston fans to see if they thought their team has what it takes to win it all this year. But most importantly, y'all have a phenomenal rest of your day.